There's a big mistake that a lot of Counter-Strike players do that I know a lot of people get mad over in their games, which actually leads to a lot of tilt. And you guys probably tilt over this reason, and it's because you're playing perfect Counter-Strike. I see a lot of times where people think that when they go into a Premier game or a faceit pug, they expect the other team to play perfect Counter-Strike, and when they don't, they actually get really upset. Now, playing perfect Counter-Strike is good in some senses, but I want to talk about on how you can use it to your advantage if you are not playing perfect Counter-Strike. And I'm going to start off with an example of if I'm on T-side Mirage, I'm going to smoke top mid. Now, a lot of the times when you do smoke top mid, what you're going to do is pretty much just cross the top boxes. You're going to clear mid, make sure info's all clear. And then these players, in concat window, they know that you're probably in top box, just doing whatever you want to do. You're taking mid control, you're taking your time, you're doing your progression. But something important to note is that, like I just said, that these guys, the mid players on CT, know exactly what you're doing because you're playing perfect Counter-Strike.
Today's sponsor is Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a CS2 skins trading site and marketplace that provides an instant way to get new skins. My favorite thing about Skins Monkey is that I can trade skins that I no longer want and trade it for a skin that is equal value. If you use code LouisCS2, you get a $5 bonus on your first trade. If you want to buy skins, you can get a 30% deposit bonus plus an extra 5% using my code. The link is down in the description.
Now, if you notice that your game is maybe going a little bit downhill and you're losing a few rounds, that's when you want to stop playing perfect Counter-Strike. And for this example, again, if I notice that maybe we're really struggling taking mid and we're just, maybe losing aim duels or they keep retaking, one thing that I can do that is obviously not perfect Counter-Strike is I can tell my team to smoke top mid. And I didn't mean to flash there, but what I would do is just flash through the top mid smoke and just jump through. Because since the CTs understand that we've been playing perfect Counter-Strike, I can do these cringe little plays of just jumping through smokes or just pretty much holding W and screaming on the other team. They're going to be so caught off guard because it's a change of momentum, and they're going to be so caught off guard of the change of momentum because they're so conditioned, and which is a very important term as well to understand is conditioning, since they are conditioned to us just taking our time in top mid, sitting in top box, resmoking window, getting ready to flash con. They are conditioned that we are just progressing every round and going through our checklist on how to take mid, that they're going to be caught off guard when we do plays like that. Another example is if we want to maybe we want to fake mid or maybe get out top boxes, but sprinting up underpass will also catch them off guard as well, because obviously since we were just taking our time and we started to lose some rounds, we want to change that momentum and stop playing perfect Counter-Strike. Maybe we want to run up under and this guy top box just flashes us con. We just killed this con guy. He's not ready because he's like, hey, I'm just going to save my smoke to blocking con since they're taking forever in mid. You want to try to almost not change your play style, but give yourself a little bit more momentum and change the pace of the rounds. Because again, perfect Counter-Strike is literally just trying to team play. You're flashing for your team. You're respecting utility. You're respecting your opponent to a certain extent. And it's very important to note that sometimes you just can't do that to win your games, because if you are playing perfect Counter-Strike, you are going to be able to be read so easily by the other team if they have a lot of experience. And you're going to ask yourself how you lost the game because you're flash peeking for your teammates, you're using your utility correctly, and you're going to be wondering why we lost. And it's probably because you gave too much respect to your opponent because you tried to play perfect Counter-Strike. Now, I think playing perfect Counter-Strike is good and it's good to practice because that's a fundamental level. But the thing is, once you understand the fundamentals of Counter-Strike and how to, team play, trade your teammate efficiently, take map control, all those sort of things that lead to being fundamentally good at Counter-Strike, you need to understand that that's not gonna make you win games. Sometimes you're gonna need some crazy plays to just come out that are going to make you win. Like, for example, one thing that I could do is literally just throw this lurk smoke, flash into van, flash mid sight, and just come and jump out the window solo and just kill this cat guy for free, and then hopefully frag the second guy that's playing van. That is not perfect Counter-Strike at all. That's just a solo play that I'm going to take to try to win my team the round. That does have a lot of success, but it's also going to tilt these guys because obviously you would be tilted if some guy just ran out B by throwing a smoke and a flash and maybe a Molotov all by himself. I would honestly be mad if I died to that as well, which would happen more so in a pug rather than like an official league match. Because if it was a league match, I would have some teammates helping me throwing flashes, and it would be more a more fundamental play. But if you are struggling in your premier games or maybe your faceit pugs, learning these little gimmicky special plays that just don't make sense can definitely help you a lot. Like one of the plays that obviously don't make sense is if someone's in here and has like 2 nades and just sits here and keeps breaking the window smoke and peeking. That's something that's like not fundamental in Counter-Strike, because the thing is, in perfect Counter-Strike, you're going to have some guy literally holding here, waiting for the nade to break, and then just fragging you. But if you want to get kind of crazy, you can obviously just keep breaking the window. You can, maybe first do a fake one, and then maybe you want to do an actual one where it obviously hits, unlike that one. It's important to note that perfect Counter-Strike isn't something that you should be playing all the time. Another example that I have is that if you're maybe a really aggressive player, especially on CT side Mirage, you always want to take your spawns. Like if I spawn over here, either you want to jump out mid or you want to make the cat jump to fight mid. Maybe if you spawn more towards A, you want to go and push into Palace. This is really good if you are an opper, but if you are someone that has the level of play, like I would say Donk with his aggression, this is definitely something that you can abuse as well. Because since this isn't really perfect Counter-Strike, you're really making the round more random, because obviously your spawns are random, right? So whatever spawn you have is pretty much the play that you develop in the round, and that's going to make your game really, really random. And the other team's going to be thinking like, dude, this guy's everywhere. Like he's always making these plays. Like how is he always beating us to these spots? Like he just has a read on us. And they're going to start to think like this guy's just some pug star, or maybe he's just having a lucky game. But in reality, you're just making your game a little bit random. And since it's not perfect Counter-Strike, where you're just going to go keep jump spotting B every round, you're taking your spawns and developing a round and giving a purpose, which the other team is going to be so confused about, but it's going to make sense in your head because you're the one doing it. Now, also playing perfect will make your playstyle very annoying and very random. Like if I know, for example, that the CTs just keep smoking Palace, and then I haven't walked out the whole game, one of the rounds I would literally just walk out and then maybe just kill this guy's CT that's jump spotting because I hear some pressure mid. This is something that isn't perfect Counter-Strike. Walking through smokes has always been a thing where it's like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. But in reality, you can really catch some good timings if you can find the timings that do make sense. Now, sometimes you can take a random timing just walking through a smoke. Like if they're just smoking ramp and you just decide, you know what, I'm just going to walk through because why not? You actually might find a killer timing. Like maybe this guy's like, trying to push into Palace, or maybe this guy's shifting towards default and, you're walking through and you just frag him real quick. That's something that you can definitely do. Now, you shouldn't do it all the time because then it would be expected, but making your game random creates this almost a mix of perfect and non-perfect Counter-Strike, and you're going to notice that you're going to turn into this annoying player to play against, and people are going to start hating you. For example, when Stewie was coming up in the scene, he was flashing through smokes, he was holding W, he was doing these random plays that sort of made sense, but it was also so random you never knew when he was going to do it. So that's why I really recommend that you guys go study up on some solo plays, try to grow a pair and walk through a smoke a few times if you have to, flash yourself out and just take some random duels. Really make your playstyle random and really try to emphasize the annoying part of the playstyle, because once you are annoying, you're going to be in the other team's head and they're going to be thinking about you the whole round, wondering where you are, what you're going to do, and they're almost going to be playing to counter just you, and then it gives your teammates space to do whatever they need to do to also win the round. So that's just something very important to note, but that's just something I wanted to talk about in this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you think I left anything out, make sure you guys comment down below. I read all your guys' comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.